but it is very nice to see you guys here in 2020 at the end of it anyways. My name is Daniel Pittman. I am the founder of Hashgangs, Dapcaps, and my recent project, Etherchest. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here and to present to you in front of you guys here in virtual reality or however you're watching this. I recommend doing it in VR because VR rocks. So yeah, so I guess without further ado, I'm going to just go ahead and start talking about different kinds of NFTs, what fungible tokens are compared to non-fungible tokens. It's going to be a real basic talk, but I just want to kind of get you guys started and get you guys understanding what we're doing here in this talk. So I'm going to switch over to my notes here, and hopefully you guys don't see those. And if you do, no big deal. But anyways, throughout my experience over the last few years with non-fungible tokens, I've come across kind of different kinds. One of them being, actually, let me start off with fungible versus non-fungible. So fungible tokens are basically tokens that are the same, like BTC, and not just Dan. Oh, okay. So basically, BTC, Ethereum, any kind of those tokens that everybody uses and trades and spends, that kind of a thing. Non-fungible tokens, of course, are tokens which don't have that kind of fungibility. Fungibility being that similarity between the tokens. You know, one BTC is one BTC is one BTC. Whereas a non-fungible token would be, to use an in-game item as an example, a sword versus chest armor. So those things don't have this kind of fungibility. So we call them non-fungible tokens. So again, over the last few years, I've done a few different projects on a few different blockchains. I started out on Ethereum because, of course, CryptoKitties kind of led the way in NFTs, and I wanted to emulate that. So I went ahead and wrote my first ERC 721 non-fungible token contract on Ethereum. And it was basically just a way to kind of document your life. It was just basically a diary of sorts. And of course, I called it document. Now, I realized with gas fees, the more you wrote, the more expensive these non-fungible document tokens are. So then I was like, oh, well, ETC, Ethereum Classic, that was really cheap at the time. So I also launched that contract on there. It was pretty fun. I had a few people actually write some stuff on there. So if you search back, I can post the contract address on Twitter. But if you search through the blockchain, you'll actually find some writing that people did on the Ethereum Classic blockchain, and I think there's some on ETH as well. Let's see here. The next thing that I kind of played with was a project called Dapcaps. Dapcaps is a clone of the old game Pogs. Now, if anybody's familiar with Pogs, there's another game right now called Cogs, which is a digital version of it. But I actually tied a non-fungible token to the real world. So using this token standard called ERC 165, I could actually put a script inside of a QR code, which I placed on the back of a regular Pog. And if I'm going to step away for just a second and grab you guys one. So they're gone now because everybody loved them, but this is basically what they came in. Inside of here were different Pogs, and I wish I had one laying around. But yeah, so I actually had this accepted at a gaming store here in Portland, Oregon, and you were able to buy them there for a while. So there's a bunch that are just kind of floating around. I don't know if people are still actively using them, but yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. Let me kind of show you the back of this. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I put little instructions here. You slam them down, you flip them over, you trade them, you send them through your wallet. So the first type of NFT that I kind of did was and discovered, was just kind of documenting things. The second thing was tying them to real world objects, which I've heard other people are starting to do now. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really, really excited about that. Then this is kind of crypto kitty-esque, but the next project, which is actually live right now on the Hive blockchain, you can go and play that at hashkings.app. And it's called Hash Kings, and it's a weed growing game. So you lease a little bit of land, a farm, by delegating. And that's like a Hive thing, but basically you lease some land, and then you purchase yourself some seeds. I kept them real cheap, but you still got to buy them, right? Just like any of the other NFTs. That seed you can plant. It'll grow up. You water it every day. You give it some food. It grows up, and then you harvest it. If it's a male, you get some pollen. If it's a female, you get a seed. Now, the game mechanics have evolved quite a bit. At first, it was just you watered every day, and then at the end of I can't remember, it was like 16 weeks, you ended up getting a seed. I've cut that time down quite a bit, and I've actually added the sexes. So you can either grow a male or you can grow a female. It is actually very beneficial to grow males in this game, and because they produce pollen. Pollen is something that we're lacking. So if you have pollen, it's actually a high demand item. We've got different types of strains, so you can breed your own hybrids. And what I decided to do in that game is just kind of use the original land races, as they call them. So these are kind of like heirloom strains that grow throughout the world. So you can, if you want, it would take quite a while, but if you want, you can create your favorite strain by, breeding and trading with people and, going through the lineage of, let's say, White Widow, and you could create your own. For those who don't know much about weed, sorry, but it's a really fun game, and I actually had to shut it down for a little bit, but the people really, really wanted to play it. So I actually brought it back live, and it's already going back to where it was. So really fun thing. So that's kind of a standard breeding kind of game. The next thing that I did, so this is as of about 3 months ago, I started this new project called Etherchest. And I know there's a big DeFi craze going on. There's this, Ethereum staking that's about to be happening. So I was like, okay, well, how can NFTs serve, this kind of a thing? I know it's not gaming related, so maybe, that's not the path, but I wanted to combine the worlds. So, I thought, okay, Etherchest. Okay, well, what do you keep in a chest? You keep gems. You keep gems in a chest. So I was like, okay, well, I'll create these NFTs called gems. I've got diamonds, sapphires, rubies, emeralds, that kind of a thing. We actually have a currency as well called ducats. So if you guess, you can kind of see where this is going. There is a game portion of this, but it's just not quite ready. We'll probably have that going by next year sometime at the earliest. But basically, what I wanted to do is use NFTs as to kind of a proof of ownership. So before, these were just kind of documenting things or kind of using them in games, as seeds, etc. But I wanted to actually this is like a badge or like a receipt of sorts, right? So let's say, let me back up just a little bit. So Etherchest is a staking service on the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. The way that you stake is you purchase these gems. Gems, of course, can be traded and sold or whatnot. Now, the one trick with Ethereum 2.0, a couple of tricks actually, is that you need 32 Ethereum to stake, which I think today is like $14,000. I know my friends don't want to do that. And the other one is that your stake, along with any of the rewards, are actually locked inside of the validator. Which, so now you put your money in there and it's stuck in there, and nobody really knows for how long. I've heard man, I've heard 18 months, I've heard 24 months, 3 years, I've heard 5 years. Nobody really knows, right? So what I decided is, okay, well, these gems give you an option to kind of, have more control over your stake, where let's say 6 months goes by and you're like, man, I just don't feel comfortable anymore, whatever the reason is, right? You just go to the marketplace, you sell your NFT, and you move on with your life. So what I've essentially done is I've created DeFi NFTs, ones that kind of prove the ownership of a stake, because whoever owns the diamond or the ruby, the gem, that NFT, is the one who receives the rewards. Of course, we pay the rewards in ducats throughout the lifetime of that gem. Once Ethereum gets cracking, Ethereum 2.0 is at the merge, and they start releasing the funds. You can just send those to us, and you get the original stake. No matter even if you didn't actually stake it, if you own that NFT, that stake belongs to you now, along with the rewards. Let's see. So I guess there's a few different blockchains now that are doing this. Wax seems to just be like the hub for NFTs at the moment. I haven't really personally seen any other use cases besides just kind of these art tokens, but I guarantee you they're going to jump on board with all the different types that I mentioned before, plus other ones in the future. There's a lot of talk of voting, right? I'm not going to get into that too much, but people are like, man, why can't we just use blockchain for voting? I think maybe NFTs could have a place in that, or wallets, or something. But I can see that somebody may at some point use some sort of NFT to kind of prove your vote, and that's what you use. You send it to whatever wallet, and that kind of does it. I'm not sure how it would work, but that's where I see it going for sure. We had a really interesting question in the blockchain gaming Facebook, and somebody asked, well, do you see any kind of future for blockchain gaming? And it's like, yes, 100%. NFTs will lead the way on this. Absolutely. Okay, so I told you about all these different types of tokens that I've worked with. Told you a little bit about Wax and Ethereum Classic, and kind of the future of NFTs. I told you about Etherchest, and I told you about Hashkings. So really, that is all I have for you guys personally, but we have some more great speakers lined up. I think Dave is next with Geocoin, and that's going to be, I hope I got that right, and that's going to be a really good presentation. I got a little sneak peek before we started, so I'm really excited for that. I want to thank Frankie, and I want to thank Andrew from Blockchain Gaming for doing this, putting this on, hosting it for us, and let us get let us get the word out about NFTs, and get everybody excited, man, because the future is here. We're on the next bull run finally after 2 years. Let's make it happen, right? So yeah, without further ado, I'll go ahead and let the next guy go.
Okay, great. Well, thanks very much, Dan. I remember seeing a presentation about your Hashkings a year or two ago back in Decentral Vancouver. So it's good to hear about that again, and your new Etherchest project. Sounds pretty exciting. So has everybody got me on the screen here? Okay, let me see if I can figure out sharing my screen with you guys. Let's go present. Let's see here. Okay. So without further ado, My name is David Mancini, and I'm the lead developer for the Geocoin project. The goal for Geocoin is to bring GIS and geotechnologies to the blockchain. And today I'll be talking about researching and exploring NFTs. So I just wanted to also thank the organizers and attendees for today's event. Thanks to the CoinFest and Blockchain Gaming crew for setting this up. Big thanks to Frankie and the Crypto Valley Convention Center for figuring out how to broadcast this. And thanks to all the guests and attendees for making this this blockchain gaming conference take place within a blockchain gaming environment within the metaverse itself. So it's pretty awesome. This is the second crypto event I've taken part in DCL Metaverse. So earlier in April, we did the CoinFest April 2020 event. We played a bunch of the blockchain games they set up at the MetaZone Tower. And the next day we did a bunch of presentations at the Decentraland Conference Center. I also did a bit of a Geocoin scavenger hunt where you bounce around from different venues, and whoever found me first would get stacks of 100 Geocoins. The conference actually caught the attention of some of the crypto news just for being innovative and reorganizing in Decentraland. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. The show must go on. So for some of you people who may have not heard of Geocoin, just wanted to provide a bit of a brief summary. Geocoin creates a real-world scavenger hunt rewarded in cryptocurrency. So we use a process called proof of location, where users can mine geo by logging in, turning on their smartphone GPS, and navigating to the location of the nearest geo on the map. And the Geocoin project is hosted on the Ubiq network. It's secured by a unique mining algorithm called UBQ hash. And this was a result of a governance vote using the Escher governance system. I think it had an adoption rate of about 97%. And the community felt having a unique mining algorithm would be a bit more secure and just reduce the risk of 51% rental attacks that have happened to some of the smaller Ethash chains recently. So today's event is talking about NFTs. So I've been looking into creating geocollectible NFTs. So currently I'm researching the ERC 721 and 1155 token standards. I'm just in my initial stages of the research and development. So I'm following along OpenSea's ERC 721 tutorial. Through this tutorial, I'm kind of learning how to configure the NFT metadata, how to mint the tokens, how to get everything started. So here's an example of the first ERC 721 token that I minted. So you can see I set up a golden geo with a nice graphic, and it's got the description, a few different properties, some of the different stats. Depending on how you set up your metadata, OpenSea's contract kind of just knows how to display it in this nice marketplace for everyone. So some ideas for geocollectible NFTs. You could use NFTs to represent collectible art. So some of these graphics are from a community artist by the name of Tuna Chum. And similar to one of the things Dan was mentioning, you can provide on-chain ownership and transferability with these NFTs, which is really important. Like you can prove who has the ownership. One of my goals is to try to include these NFTs within some of the geo drops themselves. Almost like if you'd be running around collecting the Geocoins off the map, you might have one of these NFTs included within it as kind of like an extra surprise. I'm still in the early phases, so I still need to develop some sort of a redemption process to claim the NFT. So here's some more examples of some NFTs that I've minted to the OpenSea Rinkeby network so far. So you can see it's a bunch of different items that you'll find on our map so far. So we use single coins for the small amounts. We use stacks of geo for I think items of 5 or more, and then we use these geo diamonds if the stacks are 50 or more. towards the right, you'll see that we have this really colorized one with the green, yellow, and red. That's to represent these trackable geocoins. These are actual physical coins that I've created for use in the geocaching.com community. So similar to what Dan was saying, I want to try to mint a matching on-chain NFT for the remaining physical geo-trackable coins so that people can not only have the physical coin, but also own it on the blockchain. And then you'll also notice some of these coins have kind of a greenish hue. These are from a recent base map skin that I made within Geocoin. We called it the Tuniverse. So it's, again, from graphic artist Tuna Chum. And these coins kind of give off a bit of a Ubik green glow, if you will. So one item we've had on our roadmap for quite a while is elemental geocoins. So the idea for elemental geo would be coins that could only be found in certain environments. So some examples would be like earth, water, air, or fire, and more. So for example, earth, you could maybe drop some coins in a national park or provincial park, or maybe a big forested area or something like that. Water, you could maybe drop some coins by the beach or maybe by a river, or even place them out on a lake or out in the ocean where you'd have to, get out on a boat or a canoe or a kayak to collect it. Things like air could be up in like the top of a mountain or out on a cape or a point where it's windy. Fire could possibly be, close proximity to a volcano or something like that. So the next idea I want to research for NFTs is Geohunter achievements and statistics. So this is similar to many fitness apps and sports trackers. So I'm actually an avid snowboarder, and one of the apps I use is actually the Whistler Blackcomb app, and it kind of tracks all the different vertical meters that you ski or board in a day. And based on all of your metrics and stuff, you can earn these different badges and rewards and that kind of thing. So potentially we could have, NFTs for people who have collected or dropped, 10 or 50 or 100 or 1,000 geocoins, marking those important milestones. There's also potential we could make NFTs for holidays, or even special events or promotional events that people want to do. Another idea would be kind of timed rewards, like earning X amount of geo within a day, or within an hour, or within 15 minutes, or that type of thing. If we can get this integrated, I think it would add to the gaming aspect of Geocoin, and could also work to increase the competitiveness amongst the user base. So if your friend's got one of these 1,000 geo collections, you might be more interested in getting back out there, so you can get that one too. And then the main thing is these NFTs would be rewarded on-chain collectibles that could be transferred and even potentially sold. Some people, they might not have the ability to get out there and do all this collection, but maybe they want to basically purchase it for their collection. So the next idea I have is NFTs with in-app functionality. So this is actually a picture of the very first NFT that I possess, and I actually got it from the last CoinFest event back in April. I used this NFT during the scavenger hunt to actually enter the Ross Ulbricht Tower, and some of the people in the scavenger hunt didn't actually have the NFT in their wallet, so they couldn't get past the locked door. So I thought that was kind of cool how, ownership of the NFT can actually unlock something in-app. So potentially we could use, NFTs, maybe you could drop like a really strong magnet or something that would attract a lot of geocoins, or possibly you could use an NFT to collect all the geo within a certain radius or something like that. So the next item I would like to talk about is NFT infrastructure. So major platforms such as OpenSea and Engine are currently only available on the Ethereum mainnet. So as I mentioned, Geocoins hosted on the Ubiq blockchain. So they're with the NFT. There is an NFT store that is currently being developed for Ubiq. The Tens Grand developer Moon is currently working on it, and the goal is to have the ability to buy or sell NFTs using a range of Ubiq network tokens, or even mint new NFTs. And the main benefit of this NFT store is that you don't have to have any technical skills required. So, you know, for certain people that are developers, they're more comfortable, you know, deploying contracts and running things through command line. But other people want to make NFTs and they don't have that technical background. So this might be an option for them moving forward. Block Explorer support. So there was a very new Block Explorer just published, ubicexplorer.com version 3. That was developed by a developer named Eric in the community. This Explorer has nice features like a rich list for Ubiq and all the tokens, better token tracking, and also Excel data exports. I believe it was powered by Azure, .NET Core, Cosmos DB, and C. And the main community Block Explorer Ubiq scan.io, I believe, has a new version of Spectrum that was recently developed by developer Angelox. And talking with both these people, they said that there's potential to add ERC 721 and 1155 support moving forward. So here's a screenshot of the new ubicexplorer.com blockchain, Block Explorer. So as you can see, it's got the Geocoin page. It's got a link to the top addresses. It has a nice bit of description and whatnot, and it's got all the different charts and graphs and whatnot. So the next is there was a new exchange recently added for Geocoin. It's the Shinobi DEX. So the Ubiq developers have recently launched a new DEX called Shinobi, and this was powered by the Uniswap version 2 smart contracts. This creates an automated market-making swap site, allowing any developers to set up pairs and liquidity pools for their tokens. This is actually really big news because it reduces barriers of entry for new projects. For the past many years, in order to get a project on an exchange, you would be dependent on centralized exchange listing fees, and you know, if you didn't have enough volume, you could be delisted and all this type of stuff. So at least now people can launch their new projects and have a market straight away. So we're encouraging any new blockchain gaming projects that are looking to deploy to consider launching theirs on Ubiq. And there's also the Augmentum Incubator program designed to help projects migrate and launch on Ubiq. So to find out more, be sure to join the Ubiq community Discord. So here's a picture of the Shinobi swap site. So I just put in 100 Ubiq, and at the time it would swap for about 77 Geo. But you can swap any on token or any tokens from the Ubiq network between this site. So that's one of the main benefits. And then along with the Shinobi DEX came the Shinobi info site. So similar to the Uniswap info site, you can see the liquidity, the volume, all the different tokens, all the different pairs, and go from there. So just to summarize, my plans for Geocollectible NFTs. NFTs seem to be the latest craze in the blockchain gaming space. Very excited to be researching and integrating NFTs into the Geocoin project. As I mentioned, I think they can provide on-chain collectible art at a minimum. Things like elemental geo could be provided. Geohunter achievements and statistics could be really fun, and potential for future in-app NFT functionality and more. I'm excited to learn from some of the other projects in this blockchain gaming space and how they are utilizing NFTs within their dApps. And then just before I go, I just wanted to give a shout out to Cryptanthropy. Since the last CoinFest event, community member Aaron decided to start building the Cryptanthropy headquarters within Decentraland Metaverse. Cryptanthropy uses crypto donations to provide random acts of kindness to people in need all around the world. If you go there, you'll learn about Ubiq and Geocoin, check out some cool art from artist Tuna Chum, and you can even listen to music, dance, or watch movies. And to check out Cryptanthropy, type go to 23, -negative 123. So I think that's all that I have prepared for you guys. Go stop presenting. And thanks, everybody.
Am I on the air? Can people hear me now?
Oh, yes. Good. I will now mute myself and give you a moment to collect your slides and thoughts.
Hello, hello. Hello, Decentraland.
Yes, we hear you.
I'm being heard. Fantastic. I'll be presenting shortly, Decentraland. I apologize for the technical issue. Things are more unstable than I thought they would be. Okay. It's almost here. It's almost time. My presentation is on the way. It's coming. It's happening. Tell me what you see.
We see slide 1. All right. Everything set up?
All right. I had to bail out of Decentraland so that I was stable enough to present, but here we go. We are presenting today NFTs in space. Actually, it's NFTs in Orbiter 8. Orbiter 8 is a fully decentralized Ethereum game app that I've been working on for the past couple of years. It's a turn-based game, and the mechanics are designed to flow with the network transactions, the natural network cadence of the Ethereum network. So in this game, you're going to be racing to the edge of an ever-expanded, massively multiplayer galaxy. As players move to the edge of the galaxy, new content is generated. So every new star system will be filled with new planets for gamers to claim. So it's pretty natural that these planets, along with the ships that you use to travel, are going to be a form of NFT. So the primary NFT in Orbiter 8, because NFTs are all the rage now, of course, but this has been the intention since the introduction of kind of a genre-defining application that everybody should know of called CryptoKitties. CryptoKitties introduced us to the idea of these unique, tradable, non-fungible tokens being passed around the internet on open exchanges. And in Orbiter 8, the primary token that you'll be looking at is your starship. But what is unique? What is special about these NFTs in Orbiter 8? One of the first things is every newly minted ship is exactly alike. There are no rare or unique ships. There are no special tokens to be found. Everybody starts with the same basic ship when they begin. Ships can only be upgraded, can only be improved and altered through actual gameplay. So if you play the game, you earn the in-game currency, which is an ERC20 token, which is a fungible token. You can spend that token in the game world to improve your ship. And the only way to acquire that token also is in the game world. They're not not pre-sold. I'm not doing any pre-sales. You can't get tokens ahead of time. So you have to earn your tokens in the game world. And then you can apply those tokens to your ship, your NFT, to improve it. And then over time, once you've improved your ship, then you can go, if you wish, and trade your ship on open NFT markets such as OpenSea. So that is the Orbiter 8 ship itself, which you'll get if you play the game. Then there are also the planets. All over the known galaxy and the unknown galaxy are planets just waiting to be taken. Every planet is an ownable token. Whenever you move about, stars and planets are created dynamically as the gamer explores the frontier at the edge of the galaxy. Hopefully, this slide is rendering such that you can see the directed graph on the right side of the screen. If so, you can take a look. In step 1 there, you see the ship with a few adjacent solar systems. Those little circles represent solar systems that the ship can jump to. And as the ship makes its jump to its first neighboring solar system, additional solar systems are generated on chain next to it. Additionally, when you first move into that solar system, the planets within that solar system are generated. This is the mechanism in which Orbiter 8 generates the NFTs that gamers can collect. So it is also not only do your NFTs themselves get improved through actual gameplay, they get generated through actual gameplay. So there are no tricks at creating artificial scarcity outside of everything that is created and improved through gameplay. Stars, planets, moons, etc., all randomly generated. Gamers can add orbital spaceports to their planets to also improve them. And whenever they do this, they will create a point of trade within the universe. At any spaceports, you can go in and trade virtual goods. So these planets, as well as the ships, will be tradable on open markets outside of Orbiter 8. That means you can build your moon systems out, create the perfect empire, and then go sell it for great profit. It's what we all want to do, right? That's it. That's the scope of NFTs within Orbiter 8. That's everything you need to know. And it doesn't sound like much, but it's actually relatively profound. When you stop and you look at the ecosystem of NFTs that exist right now, there are goals. The drive is to create something unique and something seemingly rare to drive the value of that NFT. We are not doing any of that artificially in Orbiter 8. Rather, we're creating a game world, a virtual world within which the gamers themselves will be generating these tokens. And these tokens are actual playable tokens within the game world. All of the data that's stored about that NFT actually allows you to play the game differently, to play the game better, to perform better in the game world. But the only way to gain those NFTs is through actual gameplay. It's tightly bound. It's what I like to call an experiment in design integrity. So if you're interested, follow Orbiter 8 on Twitter at Orbiter8Game, or go to the website, orbiter8.com. There are links there to various ways to stay in touch, including our mailing list, our Discord channel, whatever else I've put up there. And if you want to reach me, you can contact me at coda@part8.com. Thank you for your time, and enjoy Liberta Galactica.
Oh, wait, I have a question for you real quick.
Yes.
So with NFTs, it's all about true ownership, right? And not losing your tokens. But if you generate planets and tokenize those, what happens if I conquer your planet?
So you will be able to conquer my planet, and you will own that token, and you're able to take over ownership of that planet under very specific circumstance.
It's interesting. So like enforced via what, like a contract that knows who's conquered a space or some such?
Nobody will own space. You will get recognition for having discovered a star. Sort of like a token, your name will get stamped on that star, and everyone will know forever that you're the person who discovered it. There's no transferability there, hence no actual NFT. But for all general purposes, you own that star system. The planets within that star system, when they are generated, are owned by no one. Those planets that are owned by no one can be claimed immediately. Actually, taking over somebody else's planet is no small feat. It will require an enduring battle. And at the end of the battle, you may be able to acquire their NFT. There will be incentives to do so, but there will also be incentives not to do so. While battle will be a component in the game and taking over territory will be a possibility, it will also be very challenging and something that happens relatively rarely.
I just brought that up because I was suddenly fascinated when I realized, some games have concepts of theft built into them as a game mechanic. And in a tokenized world, that really mixes up the whole true ownership thing. So, yeah.
It does. It does.
But
your ships will not be able to be taken from you. Your ships can be destroyed, in which case your ship will be regenerated. See, your Orbiter 8 comes with an insurance policy for the life of the ship that should you get attacked and destroyed, they will do their best to repair or replace your ship. You may lose, some cargo holds from getting blown up, but don't worry, the Cascadian Cybernetics Corporation is going to look after you and make sure that your hardware gets replaced.
Good to know. Well, that's all of our presentations. And just to keep everyone informed, and sorry for the confusion, this is a multiple venue event. So we're going to have an after party after this. Head on down to Sugar Club. Go to Sugar Club and we will dance and have fun. And check out the games at MetaZone. There's great games in Decentraland, as always. Couple brief updates, blockchain gaming stuff. Yeah, check out our website, blockchaingaming.com. We do plan to put up a section featuring Decentraland soonish at some point. We've been diving more into the mana markets lately, looking at charts and graphs in our blog and our YouTube video. So anyone who's a trader of mana and really bullish like I am might want to check out some of the info we're putting out. Well, yeah, let's play some games and let's go dance. I'll see you guys there. We're going to have to log off to get Decentraland booted up on our computers. So take care, guys.